What is up, everybody? I hope you guys are all having a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. There was tons and tons of news that has come across over the past couple of days, and I'm certainly not going to be able to get through all of it. I've tried consolidating it down. This is going to be an XRP heavy video. There's been lots of announcements that have come out starting yesterday, but also even Stellar. I've seen a lot of announcements about XLM and Stellar and kind of very similar ecosystem relationships, like some of the same exact partners, et cetera, et cetera. I wanted to start today and go over Rabobank. So Rabobank extending collaboration with Finastra for Rabobank's next generation payments hub. Now, this Dutch bank selected Finastra to future-proof its payments with a modern and functionally rich solution. So future-proofing, next-gen payments hub, et cetera, et cetera. Now, a large international financial service, which is, Rabobank, I'm definitely probably pronouncing that wrong, headquartered in the Netherlands, has selected the latest version of Fusion Global Pay Plus for increased efficiency and innovation in payments. Finastra's Payments Hub will also help the bank migrate to the new ISO 20022 payment standard, due to go live in the Eurozone for Swift messages in November 2022. There is a ton to dive into within just that first paragraph. First and foremost, we've beaten Finastra into the ground here. We know that Finastra is on-demand liquidity and XRP enabled. I'm not going to show you guys that because I've showed it hundreds of times probably. Fusion Global Pay Plus was through D plus H. D plus H and Mrs. formed Finastra in 2018 or 2019. So first, let's tackle Fusion Global Pay Plus, okay? Here's business guide, GPP clearing processing through D plus H. This was 2009 to 2017. It just kind of shows you how far back this goes. And this is certainly Global Pay Plus. And they integrated with Ripple all the way back in 2015. You can see tons of different aspects in distributed ledger payment processing, clearing, etc., etc., etc. Critical functionalities. You kind of get the gist of it, right? So D plus H, which merged with Mrs. to form Finastra, 2018, I believe, and Global Pay Plus obviously supports RippleNet, or at least it did, right? And we know that Finastra still currently supports RippleNet and supports on-demand liquidity and XRP enabled for their clients. Now, if we get into the next portion of this, okay, so it's talking about ISO 20022 payment standard due to go live in the Eurozone for Swift messages. And this is what that update is, kind of for. It's that migration for Rabobank to upgrade into this next-gen payments hub. Well, we talk about November 2022 for Swift, right? And here are the updates. These are the standards MT for November 2022. And I've showed this once before, I think, maybe a couple of months ago, or this was in February when they actually released this. We can see right down here under securities markets. Please see below the categories changing for category 5, which are securities markets. These changes must be applied on top of the changes described in the zip file, etc. For MT 514, which is a messaging standard, blockchain addresses or wallets are included. For MT 515, blockchain addresses or wallets are included. For MT 502, blockchain addresses or wallets are included. Now, MT 518 as well. Now we're talking about securities markets, right? Well, Swift for securities market infrastructures. They help securities market infrastructures across the globe to automate trade clearing, settlement, custody, asset management, risk management, regulatory reporting functions. Securities infrastructures, including the Australian Stock Exchange, Clearstream, DTCC, which settles pretty much all the derivatives. We're talking quadrillions in volume on a yearly basis. Euroclear, T2S, SIS, Strat, all rely on Swift to safely transport their transactions. So, I think that's it. No, it's not it. All right. We'll get into this in a second. So I want to dive back in one more time. So Rabobank, Fusion Global Pay Plus through Finastra. That's what they have that's what they're upgrading into. It's for increased efficiency and innovation in payments. It's helping the bank to migrate to ISO 20022 payments, due to go live in the Eurozone for Swift messaging in November 2022. RippleNet tied very much so into Global Pay Plus all the way back to 2017. RippleNet and XRP tied into Finastra up till today. ISO 20022, obviously RippleNet compliant. November 2022 for Swift messages and the ISO deadline. And we can see that blockchain wallets are integrated. And it'll be really interesting to watch how all of this plays out. Now, kind of the icing on the cake is like the OG of OGs within XRP community research. We have Bank XRP talking about Rabobank, tweeting about Ripple all the way back in 2018. Now, these are questions. This is obviously not written in English, but there's translations from Dutch down here. Now, this is directly from Rabobank, actually going to do something with XCurrent. Now, if you are not aware, you had XCurrent, XRapid, XVIA, all those different aspects within Ripple before they changed over into kind of one umbrella, which was RippleNet. So Rabobank saying in 2018, going to do something with XCurrent. Ripple was not the only party involved with our proof of concept. We have tested 2 years ago RippleNet or XCurrent with D+H, which is now Finastra. Beginning in 2019, several banks, including Rabobank, started with instant payments for euro payments. Several banks, not only with XCurrent and Ripple by themselves, but it looks like trials were basically surrounding around Finastra, which was then D+H through probably Global Pay Plus, I'm assuming. Now again, the Ripple test of the time was completed. This is all the way back in 2018. Ripple was not yet suitable because we cannot guarantee sufficient privacy for our customers. What have we been talking about for the XRP ledger and kind of those private aspects that have been just recently discussed, probably over the past handful of months? There were also some other issues that needed to be solved. We are currently investigating a new Ripple product. Okay, so if they used XCurrent, and this is 2018 in July, I believe XRapid for XRP utilization was announced it was either October, November, December of 2018. Rabobank telling you that they were investing a new Ripple product in 2018. Continually investigating how we can improve our international payment transactions. We're looking at Interledger, in particular the XCurrent product. And I think this is the last one. Whether we have specific plans for this is not yet known. Unfortunately, we are in the reconnaissance phase with Ripple and investigate various possibilities. Nice that you want to think along these lines. I will pass your suggestion on to the right department. A lot of these things, ladies and gentlemen, take years to flush out. When you're dealing with these banking entities, these banking organizations, you start kind of piecing together the breadcrumbs, and it leads you down a path that is pretty clear, cut and dry as far as which integrations. And I'm not saying that XRP is definitively going to be utilized, but I am saying that it's probably an option. And these tests take years. That's why the assumption that some new coin or some new asset that comes out that can really touch into these legacy rails and the legacy infrastructure just immediately, it's kind of asinine, because these things take a lot of trust, not only from a protocol standpoint, but from a relationship and an organizational standpoint at the higher levels. These central banks are very close-knit, closed-door oriented. They're trying to future-proof as much as they possibly can. But it's just crazy to see the relationships. Rabobank, Finastra, Fusion Global Pay Plus, ISO 20022 November in the Eurozone, Swift saying that blockchain wallets in November. You've got the security market infrastructures that are going to be affected. You've got Global Pay Plus being RippleNet integrated, and you have Rabobank literally saying that they trialed XCurrent through Finastra, which I'm assuming is through Global Pay Plus, and then talking about kind of this new Ripple product. The only Ripple product that I can remember back in 2018, early 2019 would have been XRapid, so which obviously was XRP utilization before it was rebranded to on-demand liquidity, and kind of the umbrella of RippleNet as a whole. I know that's a lot to digest, and I apologize for that, but I saw this announcement today, and just the verbiage, I was trying to pay attention to it. Huge shout out to Bank XRP. That dude has so much information, is continuously putting out so much information still. So yeah, kudos, Bank. Obviously, you're a legend, dude. All right, moving on. I've got to give a shout out to Tejo. I'm going to Tejo Benedict. I'm 100% mispronouncing his name too. But this is another like insane XRP Ripple community researcher. I told you this video was going to be very Ripple XRP heavy. There's just been a lot of news that has come out, and I think it's justifiable. Ripple customer and XRP/ODL on-demand liquidity user SBI Remit merges with SBI subsidiary MoneyTap, the Ripple-based payment system spreading across Japan. And Wrath of Kahneman, who has also been just announcing so much stuff lately and doing so much research, seems important. Ripple Investment MoneyTap will merge into SBI Remit, a Ripple/on-demand liquidity user. Why? Seems there could be a couple of reasons. He's talking about the SBI document, which I'll show you in a second. It reads as if MoneyTap, used by many regional banks, will give SBI Remit more traction with them, and also will act as another entry point. This is the real announcement here, obviously. This is talking about SBI Holdings, MoneyTap. Are the board meetings held at SBI Remit and MoneyTap respectively. Based on the resolution of those board meetings, they've decided to merge as follows and have signed a merger agreement. And you can see right down in here, talking about utilizing Ripple's distributed ledger technology. SBI Remit's mission is to provide highly convenient financial services centered on hometown remittances to foreign residents, and we use the latest financial technology such as Ripple's distributed ledger technology. We are working to improve customer convenience every day by actively incorporating cheap and fast overseas remittance services, as well as customer support in 12 languages, etc., etc., etc. So, interesting coming out of Japan. All right, moving forward, Papaya Global has acquired on-demand liquidity and XRP utilizer Asimo. This is just literally come across, I think, yesterday. What's interesting within this, obviously, we do know that Asimo utilizes on-demand liquidity, but Papaya Global acquired them. Tried looking through customers today. One of the interesting things, just briefly looking, is that Circle is one of Papaya Global's customers. We know that Circle has ties to Stellar, etc., etc. I'm curious what the acquisition is really going to mean, what that does to the utilization of on-demand liquidity. I don't know if Asimo is still going to be utilized as some sort of a subsidiary within Papaya Global, or if it's just kind of a complete shaking up the entire organization that Asimo had. We'll be paying attention to all of this, but I do see Circle here, which leads me into this next piece. What I'm saying that I see so many announcements recently that have Stellar tied into Ripple partners. This is another situation here. This is yesterday. Ripple user Neum. Now Neum was previously Instarem. Has partnered with Stellar to enable payouts in 190 countries. They have an API connection that conforms to Stellar interoperability standards. Neum will be able to provide clients on the Stellar network with a suite of payment services. The press release reads a bit like Stellar utilizing Neum and not the other way around. It does not replace their use of Ripple. They use many payment channels. The cheapest, most liquid option will win. We always talk about that, right? Perhaps a move to boost USDC liquidity through Neum. I'm definitely saying Neum wrong, 100%. But here's the original press release. Neum and Stellar Development Foundation enable payments or payouts in 190 countries. We know that Neum previously was Instarem. This is an old relationship through Ripple. We know that Neum, even after the rebrand, was utilizing RippleNet. All right, this is really cool. I'm going to end it with this, and I thought this was like maybe under the radar a little bit here. I know it has 568 likes, but gamification obviously is going to play a role in Web3, and I think that high utility networks are going to be able to capture that space just because of the fact that they're fast, the transactional fees are cheap, and they just hold utility from a speed standpoint as well. This is Hedera announcing that they have recently had this Lithos ENT. It's a newly formed AAA gaming and entertainment studio that has come on board to develop this game on the Hedera, or tying into the Hedera ecosystem. Now, it says led by industry veterans working with the debut title, which is called Ashfall. I'll play you guys a trailer, a post-apocalyptic survival adventure and the first true Web3 AAA title built utilizing Hedera. Now, if you read down through who these individuals are that are starting Ashfall here through Lithos, Very interesting, because these are some heavy hitters as far as what they've been able to develop. Games that have been released on PlayStation, etc. So you have a gentleman here who was the former head of visual arts at PlayStation for games such as The Last of Us, which I am a ridiculous fan of. I think The Last of Us is my favorite game of all time. And Uncharted, which Uncharted 2 was an awesome game. John Garvin, who was a writer and co-creator of the massively successful open world title Days Gone, which my son still plays Days Gone. Ashfall will have players traversing a world scarred by global warming, etc., etc. You can read through here. I'll show you guys the website real quick, and then I'll play the trailer and end it. They give their vision, they give their leadership. It talks about the games. Obviously, you have the two founders, Michael Mumbauer and John Garvin. It talks about Ashfall, the game. This is not a paid affiliation thing, whatever or whatsoever. I just thought this was really cool. And I was interested because I was looking into this today and saw digital collectibles. They do have a fiat on-ramp. I picked up all three of these today. I picked up the Founders Token, the Ashfall issue #1 from Brett Booth. I believe Brett, I think one of these individuals, or maybe two from this grouping, are like DC comics artists. And if you look at some of their other artwork and some of the other comics, I mean, they go for more than $100. And Alex Kotkin and Tony Washington for this issue #1. And it's just the various artwork, the two varying artworks, obviously, and then the Founders Token. You can look at, what some of these things would give you, et cetera, et cetera. But, not chilling it. Do your own research, not financial advice within that. I thought it was cool, and they have a fiat on-ramp. It was super seamless, so no reason for me not to try to participate at a decent price point. And given their names, it was really interesting. Just, I'm going to be looking to... They only have like 200 some followers right now. Oh, sorry. This is like 4 hours ago. They had like 211 followers. Up to 462 now. I followed earlier. I certainly have to join the Discord. I'll play you guys a trailer. But they are some heavy hitters, so it'll be interesting to watch how this develops. Obviously a super teasery type trailer, but still really cool. The names behind it I'm really interested in. We'll be paying attention, and kudos to Hedera and the hBAR community out there. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will talk to you as always when I talk to you. Bye.